Hello. So we are now on chapters 3 and 4 of Stalking. So before I get into that, what is this series? It's called Overview for Normies. And basically what I do is I'm going to explain anime or video game plots to people who don't really play video games or watch anime or read manga or webtoons or comics. So, this is like more like so that way it's like the opposite of gatekeeping, obviously. It's like me inviting you to like try and read, broaden your horizons, like to other forms of media besides just television, movies. And basically, like, I will send you the link to like where you can actually read Stalking because it is a really good manga. But this is particularly for people who are, I guess, more faint-hearted, who really can't stomach gore, blood, or violence or sexual content like sexual assault or abuse. It gets very dark. So this is like why I'm basically making this series. It's like for this particular this Stalking comic, it gets very dark. So if you can't stomach that and you just want to know the story, Wikipedia really doesn't have information on it, like at least good ones. So I'm walking it through like chapters by chapters. I'm doing it by like twos, just because, especially the first volume, there's a lot to unpack. And it just builds up the suspense doing it that way. So, without further ado, here is Stalking Chapter 3. So, Chapter 3 opens it being 1 week later. Yes, Bum has been in Sungwoo's house, his basement, for a week now. So Yoon Bum has 2 broken legs now, and Sangwoo is mad because he's like whining about having 2 broken legs, thinking that painkillers is going to completely stop the pain of broken legs. I don't know what Sangwoo does for a living. They never really specify. I think he also goes to school. That they mentioned, but he also works, but they never specify where he works. Definitely not a doctor, because that's not how broken legs get fixed, bro. But I guess that's the point. He's not trying to fix his legs. He's trying to ease the pain, so he's not crying about it. Whatever. Anyway. Bum needs a hospital, and he has the gall to tell Bum he's overreacting. Sangwoo is the mother freaking with the most audacity in this entire series. So he gets mad at Bum again because cutting him is not fun because he's got no fat. And of course, since Yoon Bum's a person, he can't hold his pee any longer. He pees on himself because he's been there for a week. So, poor Sangwoo has to bring Bum upstairs and bathe him. And by bathe, I mean like hose him down with a shower head. Brushing Bum to shampoo his greasy ass head. He wants to bring him back to the basement so fast. And Bum is like, no, I don't want to go back to the basement. It's dark and it's stuffy and I don't like it. It's Sangwoo's like, bro, of course it's dark. It's a basement. So I'm sorry, it's not funny. So while Yoon Bum's finishing washing himself, Sangwoo has to wash Bum's clothes with his laundry, which apparently smells bad. Now, honestly, you can say a lot about Yoon Bum. I feel bad for the kid. Not a kid, he's 28. But whenever anyone in the series says he stinks, I believe them. Doesn't he look... I'm sorry. Doesn't he look like he doesn't know how to wash himself? Like, oh my god, I feel bad. I'm sorry. But he I don't know. I don't think he smells like crap or anything, but he doesn't smell pleasant. I don't think he smells good. Like, not bad, but not really good. Very peculiar smell. Like, what is that? I'm sorry, I spoke too long about how he probably smells. Anyway, he then dresses Bum in this weird striped crop top with a long black skirt. And then calls him a whore. Like, he didn't just friggin' dress him. Like, freaking F Sangwoo. Anyway, he brings him into the hallway while Sangwoo goes to the laundry room to start the wash. And then he teases Bum when he gets back, like, you know, you could have just crawled out and cried out for help, but instead you stayed here. The mind... I'm gonna explain the way the house is set because it's actually pretty important to the plot, I think. Like, to me, it's very important because it's very part of the story. Sangwoo's house is like its own character. So when you enter, there's a set of stairs, then there's the bedroom that leads to the basement on the left. Then there's the kitchen. For some reason, I didn't know where the living room was until like volume 3. But it's apparently there's like this little room in between the bedroom and the kitchen. And if you go in, there's the living room. It's a little tiny, like, den area. So apparently he did have a living room. I was about to say he didn't have one, but then I remembered. No, he did. I remember. But, yeah. So Sang-woo makes a deal with Bum. He's like, oh, you know what? If you don't like the basement, I'll only bring you there when it's time to go to sleep. I'll let you be on the main floor. And I'll let you just, hang out there while I am working. Meaning he's going to be killing people in the basement, as usual. And as long as he doesn't cross the flight of stairs, see, I told you it's important to know the layout. You don't cross the flight of stairs to the front door. If you don't cross there, so like he can't go upstairs, he can't go to the front door, obviously. And if he does break that rule, Sang-woo's gonna slit his throat, but not across, like, to kill him, because why would he do that? But he's gonna do it upward underneath his chin, so he can't see it. So when he looks in the mirror, he won't have to see it, like, because he's so nice like that, but he'll feel it. Yeah, he's messed up. He then tells Bum to smile, and is pleasantly surprised that he's obedient like a dog. But, like, his life is in danger. Why would he not do what you tell him? He then reminisces about his mother, who died, and it's really hinted at that he probably killed her, and his dad. He talks about, like, how he misses her and still loves her. And he's like, I love you. And then Bum's like, being Bum is like, I love you too. To Sang-woo. Like, he wasn't talking to you. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to drag Bum. But, like, don't you ever get, like people who have read Killing Stalking are just watching this for kicks and giggles. Don't you ever get second embarrassment with this guy? Like, whenever he does anything, like, don't you ever, like, freaking, like, go, what, Bum? Why are you doing it? Like, there's so many times he's done this. It gets worse. It just goes downhill from there. But anyway, after he tells Sang-woo he loves him, Sang-woo was like, what the I wasn't not talking to you. You're not my mom. Unless you want to be. So he gets a chair, rolls Bum towards the sink, gives him a knife, and then tells him, okay, you can cook dinner. He's like, you could be my mom. Like I told you, it just goes downhill from here. You're gonna cook, you're gonna clean. That is what you're gonna be doing from now on, because you're my mom. Like, Sang-woo, I hate him. And that's where chapter 3 ends. So basically now we're in a new, like, position in Sang-woo's house where it's hostage still, but we're not in the basement just dying down there. We are actually gonna be playing the role of Sang-woo's mother when he's home from work. So he's gonna be cleaning, cooking. By the way, reminder, he has broken legs. He can't walk, so he has a rolly chair. And he's dressed in, like, this crop top and skirt. Oh my god. Yeah, I just wanted to, like, remind everyone. Important. So chapter 4 opens with Killing Me Softly. Apparently, in the past 2 weeks that Bum has been a hostage here, it's been 2 weeks now. Sang-woo has a routine. When he comes home from work or school or wherever, he'll put on Killing Me Softly because that's his favorite song. Like, why? Why does it have to be a song that everyone loves? Why does he have to ruin everything? Anyway, so Bum hears it and he knows he's home. Like, oh, that song's on. That means, like, Sang-woo just came home. And that means I'm going to be out of the basement. I'm going to have to clean. I'm going to have to cook. So then the door's open. Freaking Sang-woo stomps in, grabs Bum, brings him out from the basement, makes him crawl around and clean. Like, he's crawling, cleaning the floors. Like, why? And at the end of the day, dinner time, he makes Bum sit on this little-ass, worn-out table on the floor while Sang-woo eats at the actual dining table. He's not allowed to talk to Sang-woo. He's not allowed to even look at him. But Sang-woo, like, just watches Bum the entire time. Like, he doesn't talk either. He doesn't talk either. He doesn't do anything. Then when they're done eating, he makes Bum do the dishes, and he's still sitting at the table watching him, just staring at him, waiting for him to mess up. Just anything. He'll do something like drop a dish because he's like scared because you're like glaring at him, and like he'll like drop a dish or something, and then he just freaking beats the shit out of him, and he just like freaking goes in, like just by the littlest mistake he makes, and just freaking like beats the crap out of him. And apparently, like, yeah, it's been 2 weeks, so it's like a routine now. Like, Bum's in the basement waiting for Sang-woo to get home. Here's killing me softly. He gets pulled out, cleans, cooks, gets beaten up. So that's his routine. He's used to it at this point, which is sad. It's so sad. Yeah, so now Bum's conditioned to be all about Sang-woo, like, just about Sang-woo, like, making sure he's in a good mood, making sure he's doing what he says, like, it's, an abuse victim with, like, borderline Stockholm syndrome at this point, because he's still in love with him, apparently. He even says at one point, like, what does he say? That he's used to fearing for his life, and that just already just, So he's, like, dreaming about the day he gets to be set free. Like, he just dreams about it, like, oh, I hope I don't die, because right now he's alive, but, like, at any point, Sang-woo could just kill him, like, could just be like, you know what, I don't need you no more, and just freaking murder him. And, like, pretty much, like, Bum is, like, living day to day with this in mind, thinking, like, okay, at some point, he's gonna want to kill me, but I'm just hoping that he doesn't today. Like, day by day, this is how he's thinking. Yeah, so, like, this anticipation is so anxiety inducing, it's not even funny. This is like actually like a psychological thriller. But like, of course, Bum does consider like taking a chance, because he is like allowed on the main floor. Like, Sang-woo's not gonna be like, you can only stay in this kitchen. No, he's allowed the entire main floor. He just can't cross the stairs, so he can't go upstairs, he can't leave the house. So he does like think about, like, I could just try and escape, because Sang-woo is not on the main floor when he's home. He's either in the basement killing his victims, or he's in the living room, like either doing work or schoolwork or watching TV, or never specify what he's doing. He's just, most of the time he's in the basement, but then there's like this little window where he's like upstairs, like sometimes. So like he'll hear Sang-woo, and Sang-woo can hear Bum. But most of the time he's in the basement. Like, he's in the, Bum mostly takes occupancy in the kitchen, just because like most of the stuff he has to do is in the kitchen, which is cooking and cleaning. But there's like, you know, what's it called? That little threshold thing. I think that's what it's called. And like, if you cross it, you're gonna hear it. Like, you're gonna hear that Bum is in the hallway. So Bum's like considering, should I just cross it and then try the bolt for the front door? And he even it got so meticulous. It's gotten so meticulous that he actually times it, like, okay, if I cross the threshold, maybe Sang-woo won't like think anything's weird about that. But if I like after that, because remember, he can't run. He's in this rolly chair. If I just roll, like just speed roll, which I don't know how he could do it with broken legs. But if I try to like at least like either speed roll or it's a rolly chair, you're gonna hear him. So if he tries to even go in the direction of the front door and he's in the basement, he's gonna hear, because he says that when he's in the basement, he can hear where Sang-woo is when he's upstairs. And he can hear him playing, like, Killing Me Softly. He can hear him walking around his house. So he's gonna hear, like, even if he is like with a victim, she's screaming or whatever, or he's doing dismembering or whatever, he's gonna hear it rolling. And he's gonna know that Yoonbum's trying to escape. So he's gonna run up there. So he even timed, like, okay, it's gonna probably take him 5 seconds to hear the noise and register what's going on. It's probably gonna take him another 7 seconds, because he's fast. It's gonna probably take him another 7 seconds to get up the stairs and get to him. So I have like 12 seconds to make this work, because all I have to do is just get outside and scream as loud as I can for anyone to hear me. So that way they know that I'm like in trouble. Which sounds like a good plan, but like that's such a high risk, because like you don't know how fast you're gonna be able to go, especially if you don't have legs. So when you're in a roller chair, I'm in a roller chair right now, you just have to like use your leg. But what is he gonna use, a wall? Like, that's so unreliable, and he's in pain too, so he could fall. Like, there's so many risk factors. So he's like, no, not worth it, which I don't blame him. Like, there's so many risk factors, because like obviously if he just takes the chance to escape, Sang-woo's gonna be like, were you trying to escape? And he's gonna slit his throat, because first of all, he's not supposed to even cross that line. And even like, he's beating him up for dropping dishes. So I think even the thought that he even thought of trying to escape, he's gonna beat the crap out of him. He's gonna just murder him. So he just goes back to the kitchen, and literally just that alone, Sang-woo runs up, and it's like, Oh my god, like literally imagine he even tried to escape. He came running upstairs just because he thought that Yumbum was like trying to do something. When he was like changing his mind, like, no, I'm going back to the kitchen. He went to the sink and he ran up. So that shows that like he is prepared for Yumbum to try to escape at some point. A little later, he's cutting up vegetables, his routine, and Sangwoo is like in the kitchen now. And he decides to chat with Bum, which is actually very odd for him. He doesn't talk to him, he just stares at him. And he's like, did you notice that the knife is working better today? And Bum's like, sure. Like, I'm not really paying attention to these details. He's like, yeah, I sharpened it for you. Hold on, let me show you. I can show you how to sharpen it so that way the next time it gets dull, you can like do it yourself. And it'll make chopping vegetables so much easier. Like, he's trying to make it sound like he's this pleasant person. Like, we all know who you are. Anyway. So then while he's like talking about sharpening knives, Bum's like, he's got the knife in his hand and like he's sitting here like Sangwoo is like right at like he's like kneeling, so his eye is like up to like Bum's like chest or whatever, so he could easily stab him in the eye and try to like kill him. He could just do that, but he's not doing it because he's scared, because yeah, he's huge, he's a huge dude, so he's like, should I just do it, or will that be like that's gonna really like make it hard for me? So he just doesn't. Bum has accepted his fate and that he's never going to escape ever, which is so sad. So instead of fretting about it, he's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do what Sangwoo tells me to do. I'm gonna even start smiling because he always tells me I don't smile enough, because why would you? Anyway, so one day, the next day I think, Sangwoo's like, okay, I got a job for you to do. So I need you to clean out this laundry room. There's a lot of crap here, so I need you to throw away everything that's old, things we don't need. If it's garbage, organize it for me. And Bum's like a slave now, so he's just like, yes, sir, everything for you, sir. So Bum does it. He finishes the job, then he finds something that gives him hope for a chance to escape. He finds rat poison, so he can poison the biggest rat of them all. So he's cooking dinner, and he like obviously he didn't just bring the freaking pill, the bottle with him. He just puts some in his hand, and it's like, you know, clenching his fist. He cooks like the stew, like a kitchen sink stew, like just it's like a big pot, and he just threw everything in it, and he throws the rat poison in it. It's like a handful, so it's lethal. Then he finishes dinner, serves it. And even Sangwoo was like, wow, this looks great. Because Bum can apparently cook, which is good to know. Like, that's nice. So Bum's about to go to his little mini table, but Sangwoo's like, you know what? I'm feeling generous. Why don't you sit with me tonight? We can eat together. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Oh, he knows. I think he knows. He knows something. Like, why? Why is he nice to him all of a sudden? This is suspicious. This is weird. Like, that's what we're all thinking, right? That's what we're all thinking. So Sangwoo is even like, wow. Like, I'm sorry. Sometimes the things Sangwoo says is just enough to make you laugh. Not because it's funny. Sometimes it's funny. But because it's just like the nerve. He just goes, wow, you're being so nice to me all of a sudden. It's kind of scary. Like, so he makes his plate. Gets a hearty spoonful of it. And he blows on it and brings a spoon to his mouth and then stops. And it's like, you know what? Like, you know what? I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna let you eat first. So that's the end of chapter 4. That's where, yes, that is exactly where I'm gonna leave you guys off. Like, that's where I'm gonna leave you guys off. I had to endure this. I had to wait a week before the next issue came out to find out what the heck happened. You're gonna suffer too. So, if you like this video, please subscribe and follow or like. So yeah, let's see. Does he make Bum eat it? Like, what's going on? Does he know? I think he knows.